So, hi, folks. I'm honored to be here with the next young media superstar from Lake County, Florida, Grant Godsey. Grant, say hello to our audience.
What's up?
So, I'm here to talk to Grant today about why he's interested in becoming a radio broadcaster and what he's gone through in his life that's brought him to this point. So, Grant, would you like to start out just by telling us a little bit about you and who you are?
Sure. So my name is Grant Godsey, 19 years old. I've lived in Orlando all my life, but recently moved to Claremont about 2 years ago. And ever since then, it's hard enough to move from Claremont. From Orlando to Claremont because my whole life has been there. But ever since I moved here, I'm just trying to learn new things. And I've always been in sports, always been that funny kid and the class clown in a way. But radio, like that's just like the next step. Like it's just fun to always be connected to at least somebody's listening to you and hearing you. So that's why I kind of want to do this.
So you mentioned earlier, as we were talking, that you like to leave a digital footprint.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about what
So
that means.
when I was in seventh grade, my teacher he gave us this assignment, and he always told us that when your time is up in life, you should not go unknown necessarily. You should always at least have something that people can remember you by, positively at least. So if you say you just have a regular job, you go on with life every day today, like it's not going to do anything for you. Nobody's going to really remember you unless you have impacted them or have said something that might concern them. So my thing is radio in broadcasting, you always have like a digital footprint on somebody because somebody's always listening. Like the news, somebody's always watching. Sports, somebody's always watching. So if you have something that concerns or interests somebody, I think that you should pursue it because then they will know you and they will know that you are concerned and you guys are on the same level, kind of. So you leave a digital footprint, like you impacted somebody in life, and that's kind of like what I want to do. Always, in the end, I want somebody to know like that. I want to know that I changed somebody's life. Like,
So my father died about the same time Walter Cronkite did.
sorry to hear that.
I suspect 5 people in the world probably would know my father's name if I mentioned it.
Mm-hmm.
I suspect a lot more people would know Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say?
That is exactly what I'm saying. You know,
So,
he could have died at the same time, but he could have been the same thing. You know.
so tell me about what you want your digital footprint to look like.
Digital footprint, I love radio, so I definitely want to be in that field. People will know me. If they go to like a local radio station or a live stream, they'll know who I am. So kind of like that, just to start, it'll advance eventually, but to start right now, I just want people to know like who I am and what my name is. So that way they can say, oh, like, yeah, you talking about him, blah, 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 and then they'll tune in too.
So I've always heard writers say that you can't really start writing until you have something to say. That you don't write because you want to, you write because you have to. And
No.
what I think they're saying is, and I've discovered this to be true too, that you might want to be a writer, but until you just have so much bubbling up inside of you that you want to speak out about, it's hard to sit down at that blank page and just start writing.
Yeah, when you're a writer, you can't necessarily, like, it doesn't just oh, every day you have something to write about. Most times writing, the best writing comes from just completely nothing. Like the in the moment type experiences, I feel like the best writing comes from when you personally experience something, then you will know better than just reading about it or hearing about it.
So what is it that's inside of you that's bubbling out and bursting at the seams for you to put out there for people to hear?
Nothing really. I like to, in the future, I'm going to be well-rounded about everything. I like to know like what's going on. So if some certain topic is concerning somebody, I'll speak about it and have my bias on it. But nothing really like bubbles up about me. I like to travel. I like fashion and everything. Like I'm recently like to dress different and everything and look presentable. But nothing's really truly like concerning me. If I'm personally speaking, I have like a chilled, laid back personality, I like to presume. So nothing really like bubbles at me until the moment it like is actually concerning me.
So you mentioned that you come by your interests and talents naturally, that they you come by them through your family,
Hmm.
that you come from parents and
Yes,
uh,
both of my parents are together. My dad was, both of them were athletic. My dad was a tennis star in his high school. My mom was a volleyball star in her high school. Like they loved sports. They've always loved music, and it just that's how they're together and everything. They bonded over everything, and I feel like I share both of those interests.
you also said that they are natural entertainers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, mainly my dad, but my mom too. Like she has a nice personality that people can connect to, and then my dad just loves to be the life of the party. So
And you got that. You got that's part of the genes that you got from your father.
yeah,
The entertaining gene.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I definitely when I was younger, I had a dance studio I used to go to. We used to do shows and everything. So I love like big like people are scared of public speaking and stuff, but I feel a little more comfortable in those type of stages.
So I'm sure you're going to do great, Grant. I'm looking forward to having you join our team of interns.
Thank you, thank
And
you.
you'll be hearing more from Grant later on in the week when we do our first Florida Media Labs live stream. Thank you all for joining us and look forward to our next opportunity to engage in conversation with you.
Hey.
Thanks.